Hello everyone and welcome back to the Math Puzzle Crash Course. We have another algebra word problem here for you. This one involves some guests at a party where we have three servers that are providing all the meals at the tables. And we're going to try to figure out how many guests did each of the servers help. So we'll start through this one here. So we had 180 guests attended a party. There were three servers that provided their meals at the tables. The first server helped three times as many people as the second server, and the third server helped twice as many guests as the first server. How many guests did each server help? So yeah, you might want to think about that. I mean, you can even pause the video, try to work this through. The next thing I'm going to do is actually work through this. So if you want to try this independently and then come back, now would be a good time to pause the video, and then I will start the solution. All right, I'm going to move ahead here to the solution. First of all, we can start by setting a variable that's equal to the amount of guests helped by each server. So we could just select, we could select any letter, but we're going to use A, B, and C, where A equals the number of guests that were helped by server number one. B would be the number of guests served by server number two. And then I've got an error here, but this should be C should be the number of guests helped by server number three. So yeah, once again, got a little mistake in here, no big deal. Server number three, right? Yeah. So, we know that A plus B plus C equals 180, right? So, because, you know, we had server one, server two, server three, they all served people, and the total number of people was 180. So, A plus B plus C should equal 180. So yeah, if we look through what was written again, we know A plus B plus C is 180. And if we look back at the beginning, we remember it said the first server helped three times as many people as the second server. So what does that mean? That means algebraically that would be A equals 3B. A equals 3 times B because server 1 served 3 times as many as B did, right? So that's actually A equals 3B. So now we have a relationship between A and B. The other thing that we read in those sentences was the third server helped twice as many guests as the first server. So the number of people helped by the third server was represented by C. The number of people helped by the first server was represented by A. And if the third server helped twice as many guests as the first server, that means C equals 2A, or C equals 2 times A. So this is great. We've got a relationship here now between A and B and C and A. So now just it's a matter of substituting. So we could go back and say, well, let's do it in terms of A here, right? So server number one, was served a number of people, right? It was A. All right, so yes, first server served a number of guests, represented by A. The second server would be A divided by 3. And why is that? Well, we know the second server served B, right? So if we have B, we divide both sides of this equation by 3. We're going to have A divided by 3 equals B. So that's what we're substituting here. This is also equal to B. And then we said before that C is equal to 2A. So all we're doing here is we are saying A plus B plus C. But we're representing B by A divided by 3. We're representing C by this 2A. And we're setting it all equal to the 180. Well, we can multiply both sides of our equation by 3, giving us 3A plus A, because A divided by 3 times 3 is just A. 2A times 3 is 6A. 180 times 3 is 540. So if we add these a's up, 3a plus a is 4a, 4a plus 6a is 10a, 10a equals 540. So that leaves us with a equals 54. That means the first server helped 54 guests. So now we know how many the first server served. We need to figure out the rest. All right, going back to what we originally said, we said a plus b plus c equals 180. We said the first server helped 3 times as many people as the second server. So, what is that going to tell us? Well, A equals 3B, right? A equals 3B. We want to solve for B, right? How many guests did our second server serve? So if we take A equals 3B and we solve for B, we can divide both sides of our equation by 3. That leaves us with B equals A divided by 3. We already said that A was 54, so 54 divided by 3 is 18. The second server helped 18 guests. Now, so far, does that make sense? We said the first server served 54, right? The second server, we said, served 18. Well, 18 times 3 is 54. So yeah, our first server served 3 times as many guests as our second server. So far, that seems good. Now we gotta look at the third server here again. The third server helped twice as many guests as the first server, and we said C equals 2A. Well, this ought to be really simple because we already said A equals 54, right? So C equals 2A. We know A equals 54. That's how many the first server helped. So C equals 2 times 54 equals 108. Wow, seems like that third server should be getting a raise here, right? The third server helped 108 guests. So do the answers make sense when we look at the word problem again? We said 180 guests attended the party. There were 3 servers. The first server helped 3 times as many people as the second server, and the third server helped twice as many guests as the first server. Well, we said the first server helped 54 people, which is 3 times as many as the second server. And we said the third server helped twice as many people as the first. Well, 54 times 2 is 108. So yeah, that completely works out. So yeah, I hope this has been helpful. It might be a little bit confusing working through the algebra, but I hope this has helped you understand how the process a little bit better. And if you like this video, please consider subscribing if you haven't already, and likes are appreciated, and feel free to share as well. Again, thanks again for sticking around this long, and I will see you in the next one.